there, Facebook family and friends. I have missed you guys. I didn't come on yesterday because it was Tuesday and we did a little lockout thing. But I didn't forget about you. Let me go ahead and tell you, you probably already realized that I am outside. I am in the state of Georgia and it is hot and I'm not burning my AC yet. Well, I got it on just a little bit, but I'm not going to burn it high. But I got done working and I wanted to come outside because went upstairs to my son's room and I saw some things and it made me just get excited. So you know what I get excited, I got to share it with you. Hey, Maurice, how you doing? And I'm telling you right now, because I'm outside, you hear those birds chirping, don't let it alarm you. It's a part of nature and we're going to be all right. And because I'm a Southern girl, some cars may drive by and I may do this right here and wave because that's what I do. In the South, we have manners, so don't let that scare you off. But let me tell you why I'm on right now. Let me tell you. So, I was in my son's room, one of my son's room. Y'all know I have 3 sons, and I was in his room. Hey, Lamont. And I was in his room, and as a mom, I started looking around because my middle son, Christopher, is an athlete. Hey there, Doreen. And I was looking at all of these things that I found in his room. Now, he has gone on off to college, and when those kids go to college, they leave stuff at your house. So they have, it's still his house too, but they leave all of these things around. So there were some things that I found in his room, and I said, wow, how just in time of with everything that's going on today. I found this right here. Now this right here, y'all, mamas keep everything. This is from 2012. This is a big old trophy. Y'all can see that trophy? Yes. Hey, Lamont. Hey there. Big old trophy. This trophy said that Christopher was the prom queen of his middle school in 2012. My baby is good looking. All 3 of my sons are good looking. Mama got to brag. So he got that trophy, this big old trophy right here, 2012, when he became the prom queen. King. He gonna kill me. Prom king of his middle school. Hey, Craven. Hey, Nikita. So that was this trophy that he got right there. Mama kept this trophy because I was so proud of him. I'm like, we had him looking sharp. He had on his suit. I remember it was a lavender shirt and my baby was clean. And also when I was in his room, I came across this right here. Now in 2013, he started playing football. And I got this football right here because I am a football mom and he taught me about football. Chris used to have this saying and I thought it was his saying until I got introduced to E.T. I had to get educated and up to speed. And Chris would say, Mama, football is life and life is football. And I was like, ooh, my baby just so poetic and he just into this thing. And I didn't know that it belonged to E.T. So E.T., I'm giving you credit for your thing. Hey, Perry. Hey, Mr. Pierre. So anyway, I was looking in there and I came across this trophy. And this particular plaque, this one right here was for him being on the JV football team. And they got congratulations for having an undefeated season. So we got the big old prom king trophy right here that he got in 2012. And then this 2013 plaque. Now, where am I going? Y'all hang in there. Y'all know I always got to set the story up. Don't go nowhere. So then we fast forward and we're in this year, another trophy that I came across in his room. And this one made me pause. As a mom, it took me back to the game. It took me back to the game. It took me back to the day. It actually was nighttime because it was a late game when Chris got this particular trophy. It was at the end of the year, at the end of the season. And this was for 2014. And as you can see, it was another football trophy. And this one is for Offensive Player of the Year. This was his varsity year. So I was sitting there and I came across this scripture. Y'all know I'm always in the Bible, right? And this scripture is in the book of Hebrews. And it says in chapter 12, therefore, since we're surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin that so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and has sat down on the right hand of the throne of God. Why did this thing right here touch me? Everything that's been going on in the news, I just remember as a mom sitting in those stands. this particular game, y'all, let me tell you about this game. And I got this football here. This particular game, we are at this game. Hey there, who we got? Mr. Carr. Y'all know I try to speak. That's the Southern in me. And Woodruff is here. Hey there. And Pierre is here. I'm trying to wave at you. Hey, sis Nikita. How y'all doing? We're at this game, y'all. We're at the game. And this was like one of the, I think it may have been the second to the last game of the entire season. And this particular game, now Chris had an amazing year. He had an amazing year, and he had a couple of yards that he needed to have 1,000 receiving yards for the season. He's a wide receiver, and the boy is fast. He is fast, and I'm not just talking to you about him, but I'm going somewhere. Just hang in there with me. And he was in this game, and this particular game, y'all, they were playing up against some folks. Hey, Sharon, and these folks were huge. I mean, these boys, good God, they look like giants, just grown men, and it looked like they eat meat and beef all the time, just some big boys. And Chris is fast, but he was coming up against them men, right? And they're on the football field, and I remember it's raining. Y'all, it's pouring down raining, and it's raining at a slant. But this particular game, it was so intense. I'm supposed to be in the football stands, but I had an agreement with the coaches, and the coaches at the school, bless their heart, they would allow me to sit in my little lawn chair on the sideline, but oftentimes I would be up like this, as a mom. I couldn't sit. So I was out there. I wasn't in the stand because the folks in the stand was talking about cupcakes and bake sales, and I was like, y'all so distracted. So I was down there on the sideline with the coaches and behind the football team, right? So my child is out there, and he's running, and he's playing this game, and he scored 1 touchdown, and I'm like, okay, there's my baby. He's going for it. And he had transitioned schools because he was at one school where they were the Bulldogs, and that's when he got this trophy right here, his JV year. Well, his varsity year, the last few years, he transitioned to another school that was called Young Americans, and they were the Flying Eagles. So, the Eagles, it was a Christian school, but he played, and we're in this game, and he scored 1 touchdown. And I'm like, all right, you know how mamas do. I'm cheering like that scripture in Hebrews. I'm in the stands, and I'm cheering my baby on. I'm like, you better get it. And now I came out the stands, and I'm on the sideline because they got to a point, y'all, if Chris didn't even have the ball in his hand, if Chris was on one side of the field, they knew my child, and I ain't bragging, but I'm bragging. They knew his name. They studied his film. They knew what he was capable of. If somebody else had the ball, but if Chris was over here, they were going towards Chris. It's like the ball could go wherever it wanted to go. Their mission and goal, it looked like, was to put my child down on that ground. And, they would go and they would knock them all down. And the referee, sometimes he would blow the whistle and sometimes he wouldn't. And it got so frustrating. One of the coaches at the game, his name is Coach Jose. Jose, I'm talking about you. Coach Chuck might be watching. Hey there, Gary. Coach Chuck was the head coach. And I remember Coach Jose, he was one of the Hispanic coaches. And he ran out on the field. And y'all know how y'all coaches act, so don't act surprised when I say this. Coach Jose kicked the trash can, and he's like, if you ain't gonna call a game right, then don't call a game. I was like, ooh, he was cheering for my baby, but he was mad. Hey, David. So I'm like, oh my gosh, and I'm getting mad too, because it's like they are intense that they are going to take my child out of this game. And he is playing the game, and next thing you know, boom, Chris done scored another touchdown. So we on touchdown number 2, and I'm like, okay. So they got to the point, y'all, my baby was running, and he got a little cocky. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell this on him. He got a little cocky. He went for the next touchdown. When he got to that next touchdown, David, he flipped into the end zone, and I was like, now, Christopher, I said, don't show off on them, because that's why they're coming for you, baby. They're a little bit intimidated. They threaten. I'm going somewhere with this. Hang in there with me. Come on. Hang in there. So he's now going for touchdown number 3. Done made it, got cocky, flipped into the end zone. They blowed that whistle. They blowed the whistle, but they couldn't take that touchdown. He kept that touchdown. But now we're getting to the point. All of this is going on. It is raining, and the wind is blowing, and it's raining at a slam. And I'm out there, I had this cover wrapped around me, and it got to the point they kept knocking my child down. I threw the cover off. It was somewhere on the floor, and I'm running down the sideline. If Chris running to the left, y'all, I was running to the left. If he was running to the right, I was running to the right. Because, you see, I'm just that kind of mama. I'm that type of fan. He was enduring what was going on in front of him, and I'm like, I can't get out there on that field. But, baby, while you playing this game, I always told him I'm going to be be your loudest cheerleader and I'm going to be your biggest fan. So he was doing what he had to do, and it got to the point where it was so freaking obvious that their mission again was to take my child out of his game. It was to get him up off of that field. It was so obvious. Hey there, Lazarus. It was so obvious. Hey, Eric. It was so obvious. And I'm like, wow, they are targeting my baby in this football game. Y'all, we're going through the game, and then it gets to the point, and let me add this caveat to it, and we're losing. We got 3 touchdowns, but they done scored like 12,000. I mean, we are losing, but they were not going to stop pushing forward. And I didn't understand. I'm like, I understood, but it was the principle of the thing. It was the thing of you be being a little dirty. And sometimes it got to the point where they stopped calling plays. That's why Coach Jose kicked the trash can. They stopped calling the plays right in the game. But I remember it just like it was yesterday. I remember Coach Chuck pulled all of the players to the side. And he said, y'all calling me. They know I'm doing a call. We were in the 4th quarter of the game, and Coach Chuck, I remember him, and I may have, as a mama, you hear some things, and I'm paraphrasing. But I remember Coach Chuck said to the players, he said, y'all, we're not going to win this one tonight. He said, but here's the thing, Chris Tobin, he said, he's playing his heart out. This is the last, it was the last game. He said, this is the last game. And he was like maybe 200 yards short of getting 1,000 receiving yards for the season. He said, we're going to take a L, but we're going to take a win for Chris. We all going to come together. We're going to come together as a team. We're going to play this game, and we're going to get him those yards. Y'all cover him, you block him, do whatever you need to do, but you make sure that you get that football in his hand. And he looked at Chris and he said, Chris, you get down that field. You keep going. You keep pushing. You don't stop. You run, because we're going to get you those yards tonight. And I remember they did that thing, hut, whatever it is they do. Y'all know what they do on the chair. And I felt like I was in the game. I'm on the sidelines with the coaches, and I'm like, they supporting my baby, and I'm supporting my baby, and I'm like, let's go. Y'all, they were coming after my child, and they were making some illegal blocks. They were hitting some punches. They were going below the line, and they were doing things that I'm like, man, is my child going to get these yards? And they got to the point, I'm like, is my child going to be able to survive this game right here? And I remember one time they got him good. They got him good. They sacked my baby, and he flipped. And as a mama, I was going out on the field. Now let me go and tell him myself. I got out on the field. I was halfway on the field, and the coaches said, Tabitha, come on back. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to cause no flag. But did you see what they did as a mother? Did you see what just happened and they did to my child? Did you see that? And then I realized I had to get in Christopher's ear. He was coming down the sideline, and he was hot. He was mad. Now, this is my perspective of the story. He was hot. He was mad. And I told you, he started off playing with one school. That was his JV year. And that school, he was a Bulldog, right? They were the Bulldogs. And at this new school that he was playing with, he had done excelled, and my baby had over 13 touchdowns for the season. He was killing it this year, right? Thank you for yes, Sam, thank you. He was killing it for the season, but he was short a couple of yards of having 1,000 receiving yards, right? So we're in the game, and he's coming down, and with this new school, they were the Eagles. And I said to him, hey there, Lisa, I got in his ear as he was walking back because he was mad. He was pulling on that helmet, and y'all know how them football players, I'm being a little extra. But that's how he was. He was hot because they kept coming after my child. I said, look at here, let me say this to your son. I said, now, come here for a moment. And the coaches were there, but I had to get in his ear. Sometimes mama just got to get in that ear, and I had to get in his ear. I said, look, now I know you out here, baby, and you representing for the Eagles because you've learned how to soar above certain things, and I appreciate that, but you need to they're knocking you down, they're trying to hold you down, they're trying to take you out of this game, and you got a couple of more yards, and your whole coach and team, your whole football team has come behind you. We are in the grandstand, we're in the cloud of witnesses, and we're cheering you on. And Chris, I need you to play like a bulldog. I need you to dig in. I need you to go back to your roots. I need you to play fair. Now, don't get no foul. Don't give them a reason to throw you out of the game, but I need you to put your heart in it. I know you're still an eagle, baby, and I know you used to flying and being cool and being and taking the high road, but right now, take the high road, but I need you to pull that eagle in, and I need you to pull in that bulldog. I need you to be relentless. I need you to keep going. I need you to keep pushing. I know you got a goal that you're trying to set. Honey, we are cheering you on. Run with endurance the race that is set before you. That's what Hebrews says, right? Run with endurance the race that is set before you. you, get your yards, eat them up like a bulldog. And that's what I said, let's eat, because I'm that type of mama. I said, let's eat, let's eat. So we're in there, y'all. I could have been a coach. I could have been a coach, but you know, I don't think so. But anyway, so we're in this game, and Christopher's running, and he gets the ball, and he plays, and his team, the team is covering for him. The team, the one that was frustrated, and they're like, we ain't even gonna win this game. But the coach got their mind back in the game. The coach said, don't you give up. We may take a L on this side, but we're gonna take a W over here. Don't you give up. Don't you quit. We got another goal. We just recalibrated. We reset. And we got to come behind one player, one man. We're gonna take a win for that one man tonight, and then we'll be victorious. Y'all, the way my baby got this trophy right here, it wasn't the same way that he got the first trophy that he got in life, which was the prom king trophy, the real big trophy, the one that said that he was the good looking one of the school. It wasn't the same tactic that he used when he got this trophy right, this plaque right here for being undefeated. It wasn't because he had did something and he never lost anything. Hey, Sean, it wasn't. It was something about this trophy where he got offensive player of the year. Offensive player of the year because he knew how to take a lick and keep on ticking. He knew how to go in there, but he didn't do it by himself. He realized that he had coaches that were on his side. He realized that he had team members that were on his side. He realized that he had a mama, and all he had to do was get his mama to call out and say, baby, eat him up. Eat him up. He knew he had mama that was on his side. And y'all, the story goes and ends like this. Honey, my baby got those of over 1,000 receiving yards, but it was something special in the end of the moment. It was something special. That ain't even the highlight. I remember at this game, at the end of the game, the coaches and the team always come together, right? Hey, LaShante, they always come together and they're in the middle of the field. So we're surrounded the team, and our team done got our butt whooped, but my baby got them yards, and they took a win, not an L, because he got those yards, because they decided we all gonna take this win together as a team. It ain't just about Chris, it's about the principle of the thing. Y'all started cheating, y'all started missing calling plays, y'all started overlooking some things. So now we're in the place where we're gonna come together, and we're gonna come together as one, as a unit, and that will cause us to be undefeated. So we're in the middle of the football field, and it's still pouring down rain. Y'all, it was pouring down rain. I had Remy back then, and my Remy was getting wet, and I'm like, it's all right. We out here for a cause. We out here for a cause. But we were out there in the middle of this football field, and you know how the players do. They all out there, and they do this thing right here. They take that knee, right? They get on that knee, and they take that knee. And I remember they're down on the field, and they're like this, and they're taking that knee, and the team that won, that had the most points, their position was like this right here. The team that lost by the scoreboard, was sitting up like this right here. And the reason I believe that they were able to sit up and hold their heads up high is because they realized the whole point of the game called football. They realize the point is to come together as a brotherhood, as one team, one voice, one sound, one movement, and do what you got to do. And they achieved that. They won on that field that night because they got behind one player that coincidentally happened to be my son. What does that have to do with you? I started out reading this scripture in the book of Hebrews. It's the faith book. If you don't know, it's the faith book. The faith book says, since we're surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin that so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, who is the author and the finisher of our faith. And it goes on and it goes on and it goes on. What race have you been running this week? We've been running a race throughout this entire world, not just in the U.S. The entire world has been running a race the last few days. And some of them, they didn't run the race correctly, and some did. But at the end of the day, what happened is there was this thing that was going on. One man set off something. Where somebody said, hold on. They got in a position like Coach Chuck, and they said, y'all, look, it look like we're going to take an L on this right here, but we're going to get together and we're going to come behind this one thing as one voice, one team, and we're going to do it right until we can get to the end where we can say that this was a win. This was worth it. We got to endure. We can't give up. We can't quit. And as I begin to just look at what's going on around us, as I begin to look at the team players that came together with the United States of America, it wasn't just Georgia that got in the fight. It wasn't just Minneapolis that got in the fight. It wasn't just Texas and North Carolina and Virginia and South South Carolina that got in the fight. I saw France got in the fight. I saw Australia got in the fight. I saw companies and businesses like CNN and Target get in the fight saying, you know what, we don't think that this is how it's supposed to be, and we're donating and we're doing this. I saw entertainers and comedians get in the fight. I saw one man set off something where somebody said, pause, hold up, this ain't gonna continue. You're not gonna keep continuing to foul us on the field, and we just act like this ain't the way the game is supposed to be played. We're gonna come together as one. And in the end, victory took place. And I know y'all might be saying, hey, Tab, you know, we ain't in the end of this yet. But what I'm telling you is you got to have faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things unseen. There's some events that took place on today. And by faith, I believe that we're on the right road. By faith, I believe that we've gotten to a point where it's not just a U.S. issue. It's a worldwide issue. By faith, as I read the news reports and they say, you know what, if this is something that an employee did in our organization, they got to go. Baby, termination is today. By faith, I believe the churches see that, you know what, in the beginning, the church was the one that they went to and they consulted about matters going on in the community. So the church has gotten back in position and they're taking their rightful place. By faith, I believe that there's some not only businesses and not only churches, but there's some individuals that didn't have anything to stand up for in their life. And they saw a movement and they said, you know what, I'm going to be a part of change. I'm going to be a part of something positive. I don't know George necessarily personally. I never saw him. I never met him. I never had a conversation with them, but by faith I believe that this isn't right, and by faith I believe that if I link arms with somebody else, we can make a change and we can make a difference. Oh, there's a difference when one person looks at it as an L, but another person says, I look at it as a W. Because we came together, there's something that we can do that will lead us to victory. So I just wanted to get on today and encourage you, because you know, one thing that I do have in common is I'm a mama, and it's something about when my child looked up at me in the sands and I saw them flip him over. Hey there, David. I saw them flip him over. And it's something about when he looked at me and made me come up out the stands and I had to get on the sideline beside the coaches, and I saw that he was getting frustrated because he said, you know, I could see it. He wasn't talking to me, but his spirit, because I know my baby, his spirit was talking to my spirit, and his spirit was saying, I'm tired of this. His spirit was saying, this got to end. His spirit was saying, they ain't playing fair. His spirit was saying, now I came out here to play football, but y'all came out here with a different motive. His spirit was saying, Mama, what do I do? And I had to get in his ear. I said, baby, now I know you like to take the high road. I know you're used to being an eagle, but I need you to go back to the foundation of when this thing always started. You were a bulldog, and bulldogs knew how to get down the field. Bulldogs knew how to strategize. Bulldogs knew how to grind in there and get in there. And bulldogs said, you know what, I may not have to play pretty this time. I might have to get real ugly about this thing. I may have to take some bruises on this thing. I may get a little indignant about this thing. But at the end of the day, if I got a whole coach that's telling the team we might lose on the field, but we're going to win in the end, y'all get behind this boy and make sure that he crosses that line. Make sure he gets his 1,000 receiving yards. Block when you got to block. Knock down when you got to knock down. If there's not a hole, make a hole. I saw a team that came behind him, and all I had to do was remind him, baby, you're not in this thing by yourself. So I came today because some of you have been watching all of this stuff and you've been getting discouraged and frustrated and heavy laden and pressed, and you want to quit and you want to give up. Some of y'all done took the position, what they doing this for? It ain't going to make a change. It ain't going to make a matter. And I don't even know what position, what side to be on. Let me tell you, you always want to be on the side of what's right. You always want to be on the side of what's awesome. You always want to be on the side that leads to victory. You always want to be on the side of positive change. You always want to be on the side of what your conscience says that this is really right. This is the right thing to do. That's the side you want to be on. So if you don't know what side to choose, that's the one you choose, baby. That's the one you choose. And I'm telling you by faith, what I believe is that we are on the path to victory. I don't know how long it's going to take for us to get there. I don't know how many days, how many weeks, how many months. I don't know what that process looks like. But by faith, I'm in the grandstands, just like they were in the book of Hebrews. And I'm cheering you on today. Because what I'm saying to you is if a small group of people can encourage somebody that's getting beat down, bust down, flipped up, discouraged, to keep on going, keep on pressing until the thing was over, so that they could at the end hold their heads up high because they knew that they did what they were supposed to do. If that could happen in a football game that they were playing and it wasn't for money, in a volunteer football game, certainly, surely, absolutely, positively, it can happen in life. if we get on one accord. And I'm not talking about the we that is the traditional we. I'm talking about the we that said, you know what, I might have been on the wrong team, and now I need to get on the right team of what's right. I'm on this team now, and I'm staying on this team. The we that says, you know what, I've been seeing this for a long time, and I've been quiet, but now it's time to use my voice. Now it's time for me to do what I'm supposed to do. The team of the cameras, the reporters that said, you know what, I'm going to keep this camera rolling. I'm going to keep it going so that they can see what's going on. The team of the companies and the organizations, the big box companies, y'all, the big corporate mega organizations that said, you know what, I'm standing in there with them too. I'm going to get in this team. I'm getting on the right side. And if it's wrong, it's wrong. And we're going to make sure that it get fixed until it's right. If you're the team that's a part of the church that said, you know what, I didn't know if I was supposed to get involved in this thing. I didn't know if I was supposed to get involved. I know I have this platform in the pulpit, but Lord, you done flipped us up out of the church. There is no building to be in right now. And we all supposed to be out here in the community. That's where we were supposed to be in the very first place. So if there's an issue with the community, if one man is down, every man is down. If one man is on the field hurting, every man is on the field hurting. If one man lost his life, all of us could lose our life. The team had to come together and say, you know what can I do? And the mamas know how it feels when your child is calling for you and you can't quite get to them. So the mama said, wait a minute, I got to get on the team too, because one thing that I know is you can't bother my child, and if you get to him, well, I can't get to him. I still got a voice, and I got to hang in there. I got to endure the race for the team, because now the team is bigger than me. You see, the team was bigger than my son running just so that he could get this trophy. The team now represented him saying, I'm going to run for this school. I'm going to let this school know that, you know what, we can leave this place with our heads held high. We can leave this place with encouragement in our spirits because we came together as one. It took one coach, and I'm going to give him credit. His name is Coach Chuck McCullough. It took one coach to get the team back on track, to get the team refocused and recalibrated. But it took the willingness. It took the willingness of the team members to say, you know what? It ain't just about one. It's about all of us. Because if they flip him around on the field like that, then they could flip me around on the field like that. No, y'all got to play it by the rules. The team that said, you know what, we came out here and we're going to leave out here with our heads held high. So I just came today to talk to the team. I just came to encourage you. I just came to remind you that the Bible and the scripture still works. It says that there's a cloud of witnesses surrounding us. And I believe, because when you look this thing up, it talks about it being a crowd, like a gaming event, similar to football, stadium size, cheering on. It was, and the people in the crowd, it was folks that I already had to execute their faith. It was folks that had to have faith and transition and make moves, and saw people that lost their lives, but they kept on pressing and they kept on going and they kept on hoping, and they say, I don't see evidence of it right now. I don't see proof of it right now, but my faith can't fail me in this season, and I'm going to keep on doing. I'm going to stay on the team. And once they got to the place of transition, everybody didn't get to see the end result, but once they got to this place of transition, they started looking down at the players that were still in it, and they said, you can do it, baby. Hang on in there. There's a greater glory coming after this. And I just came to talk to the team and tell you, don't you quit. Don't you give up. Don't you stop. Don't you get weary. I know what you're reading. I know what you're watching. I know what you're viewing. I know what's in your spirit. I know you're getting upset and frustrated. Amen. You hear me. You hear me. You hear me still. I know what you're feeling. But in this season, we got to stay linked up. We got to stay in the same jersey. We got to do what we need to do. And here's what I love about it. They didn't violate any rules to help Christopher cross that thing and get over those 1,000 receiving yards. They didn't have to violate any rules. Because what they knew is if they started violating rules, even though they was calling the flag on everything that we did, but they didn't call the flag on what they did, what they understood is that we can't do it the way they do it because we're going to get in trouble. Because they trying to throw us out of the game. But they said, no, what we're going to do is fight this thing with unity. They somehow strengthen themselves. I watched those team players strengthen themselves, shake it off. And I told one of them to eat it up like a bulldog. I think all of them started eating it up like bulldogs. They got relentless. They endured the race that was set before them. And they were able to walk away victorious. And that one movement put my child, coincidentally, in position where he got offers later to 5 different colleges, scholarship offers. And they weren't just scholarship, because I told him that, look, baby, you can't just be a athlete. You are a student athlete. So student comes first. He got academic scholarships. Because what he knew is, if I can't win it here, I got to be able to win it here. He had a plan B. Y'all, don't quit. Don't stop. Stay together as a unit. Stay focused. That's right. Endure to the end. Link up with the team of right, the team of justice. Because I promise you, I don't have the playbook. Just like going into a football game, you don't know until the game is over who's going to win. You don't know. Each team goes in thinking they're going to win. Each team does. But here's the thing that I know. We may not have a playbook, but we got this thing right here called faith. Y'all know I'm a Bible girl. And faith tells us that we are victorious. Faith tells us that we are winners. So no matter what's going on the ground, what I believe is this thing right here is accurate. So I'm going to keep enduring. I'm going to keep pressing. I'm going to keep being a part of the team. And I want you to do the same thing too. Ooh, the birds are cheering me. Thank you, honey. I told y'all I was outside. Thank you, baby. Isn't it something when nature starts to cheer you on? Baby, if we hang in there, I know it. All things work together for our good. This is going to end well. Don't know what day, don't know what time, don't know what hour, don't know what year. But what I know and what I believe is all things are working together, even in this, for our good. Find your team. Stay on your team. Ooh, I like it. The race is not given to the swift, but to he who endures to the end. You took me back. They used to sing that in church. Y'all. It's more than a church song. It's more than a verse that sounds good. It's life. And we are victorious. So I'm going to go back, because I now got to put up all of this stuff, because my son going to get me. But I did text him. Why he going to get me in my house? But I respect his space, because I pulled all this stuff up out of there. I pulled and the JV trophy and the varsity trophy. I done pulled football. I got to go put all this stuff back up in his room. But y'all, I like visuals. I had to show you what was going on. But here, just keep on doing what you're doing. Hang in there, y'all. Keep your spirits lifted up. Find something to laugh about, right? Get the balance. But even in the midst of that, don't you lose focus. You lose sight. And don't you get weary in well-doing. We are going to win. Trying to call me while I'm doing a video. That must be my time up. So let me go to get off this phone. Guys, you know that I love you. You know that I am always thinking of you. And when I get something, I just like to share it so that I can hopefully encourage you to keep on going and pressing throughout your day. So keep doing what you're doing. Know that you are loved and know that you are appreciated. And let's go ahead and knock this thing on out. Let's knock this thing on out. Stay together, stay connected, stay as one. One team, one voice, one movement, until there is justice for all. Got it? Got it. Mwah! I love you. Have a beautiful rest of the week. Talk to you later.